Welcome to this conversation as we're talking about following Jesus and every day building your life around Christ. So, you've got your class schedule, you know where you have to be when you have to be at work, you figured out when your friends are going to hang out. But there's another question. Where does following Jesus fit into my college rhythm? This week, I got a huge Southern Miss alumni, Evann Davis, my cousin. She's here with us to share in this conversation, and she is up in the top part of Alabama, living out her dream. We wish she was a little closer to Hattiesburg. But definitely super proud of her. Evan, what are you working on? What is the work that you do, and what excites you about that work?
Yeah, so I am in Huntsville, Alabama. I work for a architectural engineering firm and we do a lot of stuff. Right now, my office, we're doing a lot of municipal work. So I'm working on a city hall renovation, a courthouse renovation, some fire stations. I just really like designing and that's what I get to do every day. I get paid for it. And I think that's definitely a gift that God has given me of just having an eye for design and I'm able to use it. So I really like what I do.
3 years ago, you came to me and said, "Hey, I got an idea for a project." We had just got done at a retreat playing this human foosball game where you kick a ball and smash people in the face. And you took from paper and created this human foosball. You raised the funds for it, and then you went and did it. What'd you learn from that experience during your creation?
Man, I've learned a lot about myself of just like if I want something to happen, I can make it happen. A lot of determination, how to use the community to get involved because I had to. That's how I was able to get the funds. I got the community involved, and also just like bring how to bring awareness to things, like bring awareness to just how one small thing can bring a group of people together. We would play that all the time. Like when we had a big event, we'd pull out the human foosball, and we made good memories with it. So yeah.
I just remember the little, video caption that you made, like the time lapse.
Mhm.
And you're just like sitting there, building this little thing together, and it's like piece by piece, and all of a sudden it's like growing and growing. So creativity, creativity. Well, Evan, I just want to bring you in this conversation. I think that you have a lot to bring to the table around your life, your rhythm, and finding yourself, really fitting your life around Jesus. And so, the first few weeks of college, they matter because routines quickly become habits, and what you repetitively do is shaping who you're becoming. So, for you, Evan, when you think back to your college years, what were some of the biggest decisions or habits that shaped the person you are becoming?
When I think back at my time in college, I remember the summer before college, I was so eager to find community, find people that I could call my people. And I think that's what I was like, that was my number one priority going to college. Like I knew the education would come because that's what college is for. But like finding community, finding people that I could do life with, that was my main goal is just finding people that I could grow and that would challenge me so that I would grow and that I could pour into. So big component of me growing and being a better person. Yeah.
So, you had that desire to go and look for people, those relationships. In the midst of looking for those people, those relationships, did you have like a doubt going on? Like, did you have this tension of like, are these the right people? Like, did that happen to you?
Definitely, because in college, I mean, I went to campus ministry, I did extracurricular, just like fun clubs, and they were great. The people were great, but I just didn't feel like I clicked with the people, or it wasn't really what I was wanting. I wanted something a little deeper. Sometimes it felt a little surface level with the things I was getting plugged into, and there were times where I felt like, okay, is this the right route I should be going? Should I be looking somewhere else to find what I'm really wanting? So there was definitely times where I was like, is this really what I want, or should I look somewhere else?
What did you do in those moments? Did you push through? Did you take a step back and navigate and find somewhere else? What was your response to it?
I try to give it the chance. If I wanted to get plugged into an organization, I would go to a couple meetings just kind of see what it was like. And I'm not gonna lie, would kind of slowly back out. I basically created an easy way out for me because
Mm.
I didn't make the connections early on. And so I gave myself an out by not getting too plugged in just yet. But I did give it a chance by making a presence. And then when I realized it maybe wasn't for me, then I kind of just redirected my attention.
And when you did find a place that was for you, what happened when you found that? Did you just ease in? Did you go all in? What was your response in those moments?
When I finally found a place that I felt like this is where I should be, I went all in. I tried to make friendships. I tried to get in leadership positions. I tried to be a mentor to others. So I really wanted to, if I wanted to get involved in something, I was going to get involved in fully.
That's a really big part of college, right? You're looking around, you see this club, this organization, this group of people, and you're just kind of testing the water, and you're just looking around. And I think one of the big things that we've been talking about is make that decision, go do the thing, and allow it to be a part of you for a season. You get a lot of freedom. College gives you a lot of freedom. How did you learn how to follow Jesus when nobody was telling you what to do or even holding you accountable?
I think it was partially a pride thing. I claimed to be a follower of Christ and I claimed that I wanted to live that example. And so I couldn't go through my college years claiming that and then
Mm.
not doing it. And so it was a personal accountability thing. But I think it was just also, I had a really good foundation in high school. My youth group, we were a really good youth group. We did a lot of stuff together, and I think that kind of was a stepping stone to getting to college and finding community of I knew what it kind of felt like to feel like I was in my place, and so I was
Mhm.
trying to find that in college or find something similar to that in college.
And now you're out of college, you've got the diploma,
Mhm.
hopefully, hanging up. And so you're in a whole different state, whole different city. Are you a part of Christian community now? You have a whole lot more freedom. What are you doing now for your own spiritual life?
So when I first moved to Huntsville, I knew three people, but I knew nobody else. None of my family was here. Like I was pretty isolated. Like I said, I did know three people, so that was really what was helping hold me together.
Hmm.
And I knew right away that because I craved community, I knew finding a community here was it had to be my first priority because if I didn't, I would feel very isolated. I would feel very lonely. Like I would feel like the decision moving to a different state was the wrong decision, even though I was praying to God, I was like, Lord, if this is where you need me to go, you got to open the doors up. You gotta have a big, bright, blinking sign like "Go here." And so I was really praying to the Lord. I was like, point me to where I need to go, get me to the people I need to get to. And thankfully, I got plugged in pretty quickly to one of the churches here in Huntsville. They've got a really diverse congregation. They've got a good young adults group. So I first went to church, just went to the services. I didn't want to get too plugged in because I was kind of church hopping, figuring out if the church was what I was looking for and
Yeah.
aligned with what I believed. And so once I felt like, okay, I could see myself going to this church for a while, then I went and looked and see if they had a young adults group because I knew from high school through college, like again, going back to that community, I thrive with being in a community. I am very extroverted in that sense where in college, I wanted to just to get me to be able to do homework, I just had to sit in the same room as somebody. We didn't have to be working together. I just needed to be in the same room so that I could get it done. So I very much thrive off of just being around people.
Mm.
And so I got plugged in. I found a small group that went really well, made relationships really quickly and then so that was for like almost 9 months. And then a lot of the girls in my small group, they help lead small groups in the student ministry. And they're like, Evan, it's fun. You should join us because they needed some more girl leaders. And they kind of presented it to me as a joke. I was like, I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, I did leadership in church leadership in high school, all throughout college. And so I was like, why not? I really love enjoy working with kids and working in the
Yeah.
ministry. So I was like, let's do it. So I actually this past weekend went on my first retreat with the
Hey.
yeah, where they do a back to school retreat and it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
And a lot of good memories were made.
That's awesome.
Here,
That's awesome. Evan, you were formed, college, you found places to be formed, and then now you're still in the process of being formed. It's a form, and you're making yourself available to those things, and you're constantly putting yourself in places that hey, this is good for me, and this is what I've discerned a place for me to grow, and I want to surround myself with these people and have these rhythms in your life. Yeah, you got to work. You get to work. You have the opportunity to work, and then you have other places in your life to form and shape you, to build people around you. I don't know if you get to have like a cubicle with people working. I can imagine all the architecture people, talking it up and stuff. I got a real short scripture. It's Colossians 3:17. Whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it in the name of the Lord, giving thanks to the Father through him. And for this, Paul doesn't separate out spiritual parts of your life. He doesn't segment out or compartmentalize that part of your life from everything else. But Jesus cares about your study, your talk, your dating, your spending, work, your rest, your party, serving and forgiving and treating and loving other people. That's huge. I mean, Colossians just kind of that short verse just wraps everything up: your word, your deed, your interactions, your outer actions. For a college student, young adult, what are some areas, uh, like friendships, dating, school, work, money, weekends, where you think following Jesus becomes especially vital for a college student?
for me, it was definitely during the tough or isolated times. Like there were times, especially in the last year, where I was like, Lord, I don't know if I can get through this. These assignments are kicking me and I feel like I'm doing everything but nothing at the same time. And I had to make that realization that I can't do it all by myself. I've got to give some of that to him and trust that he will do what is needed and that some of that stuff is not on me to figure out. And that was because I can be a very prideful person of like, I'm gonna, like I said, if I want to do something, if I want something, I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
There are just some things that I wanted that I could not get done. And I had to go to the Lord and like, Lord, you, I need your help. I need your
Yeah.
help. I am struggling. I know that you can, I know you'll get me through it, but I'm coming to you now saying like, I need help. And of course, every time he would help and get me through it. But I think that acknowledgement of I couldn't do it by myself was the pivotal point of relying on him and acknowledging that I'm so tiny compared to him and he can do everything.
And it really comes down to following Jesus in these very ordinary moments and these very just real, tangible life events, bringing, him directly into just the everyday college life. There's something that just kind of, you know, reminds me in these next few questions and statements, like the app or the platform Reddit. And people write on there, this is happening, what should I do? And people are commenting and responding. So that can be an echo chamber, right? These little areas where people do discussion posts, and that might not be good, sound, Christian, Christ-like responses, right? And when you're following Jesus into all areas of our life, we really want people around us that are giving us those Christ-like representation, allowing us to really be a bright light for others. So when we have questions like, how do I respond when my roommate's driving me crazy? Do I work with integrity even when, I could use ChatGPT? Or relationships, how, do I treat people like God created them? And or a Friday night, are my choices consistent with the person Jesus is calling me to be? Or our finances, our money, does how I spend reflect and say what matters to me? Or even time, college is like a big block of time. Does Jesus receive what's left over of my life, or is he being the one that's ordering my life around him? And then we put people around us, these Christian community and leaders and mentors and mentees. Was there a habit, a relationship, even a failure, an experience during your college career that changed the way you followed Jesus? And what did that teach you about God through that experience?
I don't think it was a specific situation or anything like that. It was definitely a thing that happened gradually. Like kind of going back to high school, like that spark was created and I feel like in freshman year of college, it was able to grow because, I was using the excuse of, well, I'm in a new environment. I'm finally like, there's a different level of independence and adulting that you're given when you start college. And I was like, okay, let me just figure out this college life first. And then sophomore year is when it was like, we're like, okay, here are opportunities. I'm going to take them. And through those opportunities, I was able to make relationships with people and people that were Christian and had the same morals and values as I did. And that helped me grow and stay accountable because they were doing that. And so because I was placing myself in that situation with them, I just kind of gradually became the same, and we
Mm,
helped grow each other, and we would challenge each other, but it was a good challenge because it's so you can grow.
mm,
um, so I think it was just like a gradual increase of opportunities that would help me do that.
mm. That's good. I mean, it kind of goes back to your movement, being formed over time. It's not a just instant. It's really a forming. That kind of leads me to the next like movement for us. Students can often hear a message like we're talking about, form your whole life around Jesus, and they think, oh, I need to pray every hour, every morning. I need to read 5 things of scripture every single day, and I need to join 3 Bible studies. I need to volunteer all my time, doing this. I need to completely change everything in my life. And that's really not what I heard from you, Evan.
Yeah, there were definitely times where I was like, Lord, sorry, but I haven't talked to you in like a couple weeks, couple months. I mean, but that's like the growing pains of a relationship. It's not meant to be perfect, and you're gonna stumble sometimes, but I think the importance is that you go back. You realize like, hey, I've been distant and I need you. And that is, I feel like, what a relationship is about. There's
Mm.
give and take, but give and take on your end of, okay, let's figure this out.
And I think it's a small rhythm, one small thing. It's not this massive life change. It's a small rhythm of, hey, I'm gonna show up to this. I'm gonna lean into this new thing. I'm gonna, mentor this person. If you could sit across the table right now from an incoming freshman, a transfer student, and give them one challenge for how they're gonna live their college years faithfully, what would you challenge them to do?
I would challenge them to find at least one person that can help them grow closer to God.
Mm,
It may be a neighbor. It may be somebody that lives a neighbor meeting, I guess someone who lives down a couple rooms down from you, or somebody in your class, because interactions with people can make you interact with other people that will help you grow and expose you to different types of people. I would challenge a student to find somebody that will grow them closer to God. And that may be through just going to get breakfast with them before class, or hey, there's an activity on campus. Let's go do this together. And then,
mm,
you know, growing that relationship with them will help you in the long run, because then you have somebody that you can go to when you feel like, hey, I don't feel like I'm doing this relationship with God right, or I'm struggling in this. Can you help me with that? And relationship is just a big thing for me. It's like having a relationship is what gets me through tough situations. And so
mm,
I would hate for somebody to feel alone and not have an outlet or somebody to go to. So definitely find somebody who you can confide in, but they'll also won't just tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you what you need to hear. And sometimes what you need to hear is like not what you want to hear. And you need to have those people in your life.
yeah.
And they need to, and through that they need to point you to the Lord and lean on him and not what the world says or what people think you should be.
That's good. You can't beat that. I mean, you could have 100 people in your life and have a relationship with them that is very thin, but having a few that is very deep, meaningful, challenging, beneficial to both, you and them, that's friendship. And I would say a spiritual friendship. It's one that is in Christ and really challenges you to have that relationship. So just a closing thought for us, following Jesus isn't another activity on your college schedule. Following Jesus changes the way you live your whole schedule, all those things involved. So, Evan, thank you for just allowing this conversation, a little peek into your college, but also adult life and maybe a little bit of your high school life, and see who you're becoming today. So it's on our end, knowing you, it's very beautiful to watch you grow into following Jesus through your young adult life.
Thank you. I'm happy you asked me to be a part of this. I was really flattered, so thank you.
Hey, and we're gonna have a fun time with this thing that y'all are part of, this alumni association. Super excited to go to Memphis. Are there any like particular plans for the alumni? Like the whole Davis family, we're coming. So
Yeah, we've got some really fun things planned. We're gonna be doing a lot of the touristy stuff that you do in Memphis, like go to Graceland.
nice.
We're gonna eat some good food, some good Southern cooking. I haven't had that in a while. There's not too much of that here.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we are in the South, but it's like the North South.
Central barbecue,
Oh
Central.
yeah,
Right.
we're gonna get some good barbecue. We're gonna hear, there's a good music scene up there. So,
Blue suede shoes.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Elvis. Okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? I mean, I'm just trying to think through all the things you do in Memphis.
I mean, we're gonna go to a couple museums. We're definitely go to the Peabody Hotel. We gotta see
Okay.
those ducks.
Gotta see the ducks. Yeah.
Those are like the highlights that I can think of.
I don't think James and Emily have seen the ducks, so this is gonna be a highlight for them. Yeah.
I don't think I have either, because I've been to Memphis a few times, but I don't think I've ever been to the Peabody for the ducks.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna have a fun time Labor Day weekend, alumni association getting together and hanging out, and it's the community. Community doesn't just leave different phases of your life; it continues with you wherever you go. So, Evan, thank you so much.